What's going on, everybody? It's the good boys. We're back. The final one for the year.
Final
it's a big
one.
It's the big one, man. Lots to discuss today.
Yeah, that's like kind of like a roundup of everything we've been kind of
talking about for the whole year.
Yeah, when it comes to games.
Yeah.
Games and just like stuff that doesn't have to relate to everything else everybody's going through right now. Something to not focus on that.
Yes.
Focus on some entertainment, something
we got
good.
the game awards to talk about, the game announcements that came from it. Cyberpunk 2077 is finally out, a game that we've pretty much discussed on every single podcast. And we're also going to be ranking all the Call of Duties that we've played. We're pretty much ranking from Modern Warfare up. We didn't do any like the original CODs. Like
we're playing from when
I feel like the franchise officially blew up.
Yeah, when like multiplayer really became a thing.
And the last portion of this, of course, is the Ask Me Anything. So, guys, of course, yes, the title of this is ranking all the Call of Duties, but we're going to get there. We're going to take our time. We're going to have fun.
There's other things we want to kind of just talk about. Make people
and it's been a while. Again, like, we've talked. We've played Call of Duty. We played Zombies. We've talked Cyberpunk immensely.
Yeah.
And Tyler definitely has a lot to discuss. But we just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, as always. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you so much for your listening to this on audio. Thank you so much. And as well, if you're watching us live, you're freaking awesome. So first off, let's just kind of go in the live chat. It looks like we got Damian Scott here. I played Call of Duty once, so why not listen to you guys? Griffin Goodrow, hi, hello.
Hello, how's it going?
And as it looks, 5 more people are in here. So guys, make sure to also hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well. Let us know if there's any audio issues or any issues in the live chat. That way we can kind of fix it or tinker it. But let's start with the Game Awards. So they did announce a lot of their winners.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff.
I have the list of winners. I have the list of winners.
I'm not really surprised about anything. I'm honestly really, really disappointed. It seems like the Game Awards are becoming more like the Grammys, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
Like a Game of the Year. Action.
So I'll be honest. I don't
score. Example got ripped away from Doom Eternal. Are you kidding me?
So
you're telling me that a remake, a game
Final
that has
Fantasy,
you're telling me a game that already had that's not an original score.
So, and that's the thing. I was surprised.
And you don't want to tell me that Doom Eternal did not get the best act.
But what got it? Hades, I think. The independent game, which I've heard is great. I've heard it's great.
But compared to Doom Eternal, where it's you literally stop. You don't stop. You don't stop. I have to stop playing that game because of how tired I get from just constantly playing and killing fucking games.
Let's go through the main. I'm only going to go through the main ones. Kind of
disappointed.
Best debut game, Phasmophobia. I heard it's great. It's a ghost game. Pretty cool. I've seen people play. Best multiplayer, Among Us. Hey, we got to give a shout out to that studio. There's like literally less than 12 people working on that game.
I give a shout out for the small studio, but that's like the thing. You have all these games.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Would you rather Cold War 1 or Among Us?
We'll get back to
that. Okay. Best sports and racing, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I mean, great. Sure. It's a great remaster.
I'll
remake, whatever.
I'll give it that.
Best family game, Animal Crossing.
I'll give it that. I'll give it that.
Best fighting, Mortal Kombat 11. Ultimate, there really was no fighting games this year, so that kind of makes sense. Best role-playing game, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But that's the one thing about announcing the winners. We're not even talking about who they win up against.
Yeah, you want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Let me find the nominations.
Because that's like my thing is like, yes, we hear that's fair. Like they probably deserve it, but let's talk about who they went up against.
Okay, so let me find that because the first website I tried did not work because shit.
Internet.
No, just shit.
All right. Well, so while Zach pulls up those nominations, the 3 games we really want to talk about that came from the Game Awards were Back 4 Blood, Evil Dead, and the Callisto Project.
Yeah, especially the Callisto, but I left that for last because that's the one we're most excited
Back 4 Dead, I'm not sure how many people played the 2 first games from. What is it? It's not from the developers. They made their own.
It's Turtle Rock Studio. So Turtle Rock Studio was with Valve.
Gotcha.
And Valve made Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Now, they were making Left 4 Dead 3, and Valve
basically
said no, we're not making it.
Yeah.
Which I get their point. They said we don't want to make another Left 4 Dead game if it's going to be the exact same game.
Yeah, and actually,
but let me say this: Back 4 Blood looks fun.
Yeah, so let me tell you really like how I feel about it because exactly what they were kind of like talked about and what you just said, if that's true.
Yep.
The game I'm excited for. anybody that's played Left 4 Dead 1 or 2 knows how good of a game that was. Like, they had a really good formula of just like go in and then just
have fun,
kill as many zombies and try to survive till you get to like the next checkpoint. What I've said in my notes about this game is that I'm excited for it. Here's my only thing though. If they can keep that same formula that made it so good for the first 2, but also implement new things to catch it up to current gen, because when was the last Left 4 Dead 2?
Probably over 12 years ago.
Yeah, so they have a 12 years, to catch up and to make it.
But it's coming out fast.
Gen.
It comes out next year.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy. And again, the thing I'm excited about is because I love hopping back into Left 4 Dead, but my problem with Left 4 Dead now is it is a little dated.
Yeah.
Like the control, but the gameplay trailer they showed us looks revamped. It looks newer.
Yeah. With
the same exact go into safe room, do this, and then you have the big zombie stuff like that. Obviously, it's not in the same exact world because they legally can't do that.
They really can't.
But it looks fun, and I'm really excited to see what they can possibly do with it. Jumping in as well, I do have the nomination.
All right, so cool. Let's go back to this.
So multiplayer games. Among Us won, but the other nominations were Fall Guys, Valorant, Call of Duty Warzone, and Animal Crossing. Shocked Valorant didn't win. I'm shocked Valorant.
I'm surprised Call of Duty Warzone didn't. I'm not like the biggest person on Call of Duty, but
Warzone's
numbers
great.
don't fucking lie.
But again, this is from a jury, so I'm sure the jury looked as a small studio that put a game out back in 2018. The fact that it went viral.
Let the people speak.
Yep. Sports racing game. Tony Hawk won over Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, and NBA 2K21. I think that's cool that it won.
I think it's cool because it's definitely a nostalgic game. I would have probably, maybe FIFA, because I'm just a huge fan of FIFA.
Yeah.
They're really, and a lot of people that aren't sports people or sports people playing games really enjoy FIFA.
Yeah.
Even the people that are like more just Madden or even 2K, they're like, oh, FIFA is the shit.
Which I've heard.
FIFA's fun as hell.
Yeah. Family game, Animal Crossing won.
That's it. We don't even need to talk about it.
But Crash Bandicoot 4 was nominated.
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons, Paper Mario, Fall Guys. Again,
I'm going to go with Animal Crossing. I want to say that one I would say is fair.
Fighting game, there's nothing in there that would even... One Punch Man, Street Fighter V Champion Edition. I mean, none of these were going to go.
All right, RPG, Final Fantasy,
Persona 5. Final Fantasy wins that.
Yeah, Final Fantasy, it has its...
action, and I love the new one. I love it.
Yeah, that one's fair. I will say that.
Action adventure game. Last of Us Part 2 wins over Valhalla, Ghost, Miles Morales, Ori, and Jedi Fallen Order, which... I'm shocked Jedi Fallen Order did not get more nominations, but the reason it didn't, and I really believe this, it also came out too early.
I'm surprised look, you can give Last of Us to the Game of the Year.
Action Adventure, Ghost of Tsushima should have won this because I looked...
There's way more, it's an open world.
That's my thing.
There's way more of exploration.
At Ghost of Tsushima, but also Ghost of Tsushima should have been... Would you count that as an RPG? Because I think that has as big as a skill tree as Final Fantasy VII does. But whatever. Yeah. Maybe they didn't put that in that category. I know the studios send them out. Action game, Hades won over Doom Eternal. Bullshit. Innovation and accessibility. Last of Us Part 2 won over Valhalla, Watch Dogs, which I actually really agree. The accessibility menu in that game is insane. I watched a video.
What was this?
Innovation and accessibility. So like people who have disabilities.
In accessibility. Okay, gotcha.
And it's really like I watched a video of a guy talking about Grounded, Hopper Dog, and Watchdog Legions.
I haven't played Legions. So I can't speak on any of these.
But Part 2, the way that they add stuff, so like for colorblind people, they have a whole mode that change. It's really unique. VR/AR games, Half-Life Alyx won. I mean that's.
I'm not sure how many people are really playing VR right now, or even invested.
I play Star Wars Squadron in VR. I've seen so many clips. It looks cool. Community support, Fall Guys. How did Fortnite not win that? That's another
all
one.
I'm going to say is, let the people talk.
Mobile game Among Us won.
Fortnite.
Mobile game Among Us wins. Okay. Debut indie game, Phasmo. Knew that was going to win. Indie game, Hades won.
Any indie game, when it comes to indie game category, no matter who it really is, they're always going to be indie developers. So no matter who wins, it's just a win altogether.
Yep. Ongoing game, No Man's Sky. Shout out to them. Remember when we started talking about that game and how disappointing it was, and the fact that they came back.
I can't. So No Man's Sky 1, there's Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, and Fortnite.
So
They're
I know why.
Really,
let me say
really
this.
good.
I know why Warzone didn't win.
Because it was really just Modern Warfare.
Map, and it's the same exact map. That's the thing.
It's not ongoing.
And then did you see the new map they just added for Warzone?
Mm-mm.
It's only 40 players. I'm like,
I want to see. I think they might be doing that for stability issues.
Maybe
they don't want as many people. Hopefully, because they want to crack down more on the fucking hackers and cheaters. Because
did you see the invisible glitch they still have in there? You can make yourself go invisible, and this guy was following someone and just kept meleeing them down. It's so bad, so bad.
God.
Fortnite.
That's why I can't play Warzone because I know scream. I will die from that. Yep. On like the last few people, 5 people,
and then
I'm completely maxed out on all my gear, have the best guns, and I get killed by some dumb shit like that. I can't.
You can't. Performance, Laura Bailey for Abby wins Last of Us Part 2. Now, here's the thing. It was either going to be her or Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
Now, I think both of their performances, same exact level. I think Laura won because of the death threats she was getting. And
so I think for performance-wise, I mean, it is what it is. Last of Us, I mean, 1 proved how amazing they were able to do with their performance.
It's a movie.
Acting.
It's a goddamn movie.
I've even said this multiple times.
I know some people wanted Jin to win, but here's my thing. I've beaten Ghost. I've never been that emotionally invested in Jin. I'm emotionally invested in the world, not Jin as a character.
100%.
And Jin, the culture. The culture as well.
Well, the Japanese culture is very rich and diverse and very beautiful. But Jin as a character was very much like I did not give
one fuck about him.
So, I was more interested in saving the island of Tsushima than I was
because of the culture, the world, all that stuff. Audio design, Last of Us Part 2 wins hands down. I mean,
Doom Eternal.
I mean, it was a tough thing, but audio wise,
Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3.
I agree with that though. Still, because I've played them all, except I've watched people play Half-Life Alyx.
It's this.
Here's the one that let's get pissed.
I'm not
score and music, Final Fantasy VII. So. The score is really good for Final Fantasy VII, but it's the exact same game. Doom Eternal should have won this. I would argue every score in here should have won over Final Fantasy VII. There's an argument for Last of Us. There's an argument for Ori and the Will of the Wisp. There's an argument for Hades. There's an argument for Doom Eternal. All of those. Especially, but honestly, I'm going to say this. This should be it should be score and then music. They should be separate categories. There's just like the Oscars, score and music are separate.
I'm just like look, I'm not trying to be a hater, but like it is what it is. Yeah. Like Final Fantasy did not it's not.
Yep. Art direction, Ghost of Tsushima wins. Thank God.
That
was the best looking
beautiful game.
It's the best looking game. I think if you were to look at last generation's games. I'd say Ghost of Tsushima is arguably probably the best looking.
It has the widest
on an
color
art
palette.
Direction. Yep.
Has the widest color. There is so much color where you'll be going in from one section of like the map, and it'll be swamp, and then all of a sudden you're into this golden, beautiful forest of golden leaves falling. It's like the most. It's easily the most beautiful game.
Narrative. Last of Us Part 2 wins over Ghost, over Final. Very.
I'll go with it because they
put their heart and soul into it.
I wouldn't say that. They took a huge leap and huge risk with the directive and the narrative of the game. I don't know exactly if it really paid off, but I will say this: they definitely won it because of the risk that they had. For me, it paid off. I mean, we've talked about this.
Yeah, that's my favorite game I've ever played.
It's the only reason why I can't 100% agree with it because there's it's very black and white with Last of Us 2. If it was more of like a consistent, like majority of people like it, but there's still very much
a heavy amount of people that hated it.
People don't like it. People love it. I'm not a person that hates it, but I'm a person that says I didn't even want this game. I thought the way that the first one ended
was perfect.
Which gave you a feeling.
The way that this one ended, I do not want another game with Ellie.
Oh, you think? Oh, well, I don't even want another game within this universe. They're going to milk the shit out of this, and they're going to beat it dead like every other game that has come up.
Let me say this though:
the only game
Naughty
that I can
Dog
say
hasn't done that yet, though. What? They haven't. They haven't. I wouldn't. Uncharted. They made 4, and they said they're not making any more unless they really think they need to. Jak and Daxter, they fucking stopped at 3. Why have they not made a 4th one?
But when was the last time they? Well, it was PlayStation 2.
Because they didn't want to make it anymore. They said, "There's no why make another one when we can't top it." They have not. They have not done it.
I think they're going to milk this game. They're look how many awards they just won. You really don't think they don't want to keep on doing this?
No, because they only made part 2 because they had the idea.
I don't think so.
It took Neil Druckmann 3 years to finally come back to it.
I guarantee.
No, I'll tell you this: they'll make another one.
Oh yeah,
but I don't think it'll be Ellie. I really don't think it'll be Ellie. I think it'll be Abby, and people are gonna be pissed, but whatever.
But that's the thing. Like I said, they're still gonna milk it.
Yeah, but that's every game though. That's every franchise. Doom's been milked. Fucking Wolfenstein's been milked. Fucking Halo's been milked. Every game's been milked.
But the difference between milking a game and putting out a really, really fantastic game, 2 different things.
But Naughty Dog's every game they've made is fantastic.
But that's the thing. 2 is the thing. Is the Last of Us 2 is the one game they have put out that is challenging that.
But challenging for story wise because people disagree with how Joel died. Fucking spoiler. Sorry. I don't care.
If you haven't played it yet, my bad.
No, I will always argue. Joel had no point in being in that game. The way they used him in that game with the flashbacks and everything was perfect. He had nowhere else to go with that game. The way he died was perfect. And I loved how they did with Ellie. I love how they did everything with that. Again, I'm curious. People are pissed about that. I don't give a fuck.
I'm curious to see what people think down in the comments. I'm honestly really, really curious. I'm just interested because, like I said, I think there's been a huge...
Out of everyone I know that's actually played the game, one person didn't like it. Really? And he didn't... It wasn't because of that. He didn't like the ending. The very, very ending, he thought we should have gotten a choice. Which, can I spoil? I'm just going to spoil. You don't get to choose if Abby dies or not. And he didn't like that choice. He says, I wish it would have let you choose if Abby dies or not. Because then as a person, you actually make that choice. I'm in the camp that I get his opinion, but like he literally despised that so much that it made him hate the game.
I would kind of agree with that, especially if you're like a game like this where you're making, like the decisions that,
but the game's never been about decisions because you don't make any decisions.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind it because it's a narratively driven game and you're supposed to follow it. I really think if this game did not leak out the things, I think people would still be pissed, but I don't think they'd be as pissed. It's the same thing. Anytime a game or a movie takes a risk, someone gets mad. The Last Jedi is still critically acclaimed to be the best Star Wars movie ever made, but people are pissed at the risk. Here's my thing: you and me both enjoy Endgame, right? I do not. I do not think Endgame took any risks. I knew. Again, spoilers. If you were one of the one people in the world that didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I did not like Endgame. I enjoyed it for what it was.
I love Endgame.
Yeah.
But there's not that many risks. I literally watched
everything.
The film.
It feels like it's a recap. Like,
and people might argue, okay, the major deaths at the end, which again, fine, I'm not going to talk about, but for me, they're not.
They don't mean anything.
No. You knew they were going to happen.
Yeah.
We both knew both the actors were done.
Yeah.
And we knew at that point in time, maybe down the road they come back as a different multiverse character or something like that. But as of right now, they're done. The reason I argue Last of Us Part 2, I love what Naughty Dog's my favorite gaming studio for story-wise right now.
Okay.
Uncharted 4, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 1, all great. Last of Us Part 1, Last of Us Part 2. And I'm saying this as someone, like, try not to be as biased as I possibly can with this. I played Last of Us Part 2 and jumped right back into the story right after I finished it because I was that engrossed with the fucking game. And that's never happened to me with a single player game.
Yeah.
Never.
See, that's even, so maybe I'm even a different person because after I beat the first Last of Us, I was like, yep, don't need to play it ever again.
See,
like, it was like the
first game, I had that same thought. I said that was a perfect ending. Yep. And then you and me talked about when they announced the second one, and I think we weren't doing the podcast yet, but I know you and me heavily discussed Part 2. Like,
oh yeah, we were still were we still in high school?
I think we just graduated. I think we just
first year of college, maybe.
Yeah, and that's my thing. When Last of Us Part 2 was announced, you and me both said we don't need it, but
yeah,
I've proved that there's still more story.
But
I think they proved it enough. I think they proved it enough for me to show the way that I played the game, because Ellie is, I think, one of the most fascinating characters we've ever gotten in a game. And I love how they were able to show, they were able to go to that next level. And again, where her story ends, could I see where they could go with it? Yes, but I don't think we need to. I think the ending, the final 5 minutes leaves open a lot, because there's Dina. For everyone who's played the game, Dina, who is very much her love interest in it, she gives her a bracelet.
Yeah.
Ellie takes the bracelet off in that whole last chapter. She's not wearing it at all, and she gives it to Dina. In the final moments when she's going back to the house, she's wearing the bracelet again.
Yeah.
So there's that leaves open. But for me, they go back with the Last of Us universe, which they will, do a different character. Or better yet, do something with the online. Because the online's great.
I think the only viable thing, personally, I think the smart move for them to do is just do online. If they do a second or third game, which they most, I will be extremely shocked if they don't do a third game.
Sorry, I saw something spoiled for someone. Sorry, you're one of the only few people in the world that didn't play the biggest selling game on the PS4 ever. Sorry, Jaren.
Oh,
spoilers have been out since March. So
that sucks. If they do a third game and they still in the same world, obviously, but they do a different character, I don't think it's. It's hard for me to imagine it's being as big as the first two are, because you were already heavily invested in the characters from the first one, and it transitions into the second one because of Ellie. There's no characters.
Can I say something real fast to Jaren?
Hang on. Oh, go ahead.
Jaren, just so you know, I got spoiled on Joel dying. It still didn't ruin the game for me. If you like the first one a lot and you're invested in that, just go into the second one still open minded, because you still don't know. There's still twists and turns you don't know.
Yeah. So
and it's like very early on, like literally the first hour.
I didn't play it. I got it spoiled, and even for me, even though I don't know if I'll end up playing it, because I'm already invested in another game right now. I don't think it would ever really spoil or like hinder my experience from playing the game.
No, because that's my thing.
Yeah, I think you're good.
If you play the game, if you play the game, it's very. I'm just playing, bro. It's not like getting Iron Man spoiled. Yeah, yeah. Which is funny. My grandma's gonna watch Endgame for the first time tomorrow, guys.
Man, that was oh my god! If you got spoiled from that you should punch that person.
Well, I got spoiled for Endgame. But dude, my grandma is watching Endgame for the first time tomorrow, and she doesn't know he's dead.
No, that's good.
So, and she was just telling me, she goes, "When are they gonna make an Iron Man 4?" Never. But yeah, so no, this is my thing with because there's rumors they're making another studio is doing another Uncharted, not Naughty Dog, but Sony gave the franchise to Blue Point or one of those other studios that they have, which every studio in Sony's sphere. Great.
Yeah. Also, by the way, really quickly, Blue Point, that studio, Sony, any kind of game that you have from previous console generations
that you want to remaster,
just give them to Blue Point.
Do you know who they should get? I want a Resistance from
I want every game that Sony wants to remastered to go to Blue Point.
Yeah.
Because what they did for Dark Souls 3 is unbelievable.
Great. So let's kind of move ahead again. We on a big tangent.
Yeah, we kind of did.
But that's what this podcast is about. It's you and me getting on tangents.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. I really still believe if you played Last of Us, you would love it. I really think you would.
I don't think I would love it, but I still think I would. I don't think I'll love it, but I think that even though despite everything that I know and have a personal opinion about, would not change my experience playing through the game. Because for me,
I think you'll play it, be like, that was a great game. I disagree with certain things.
Oh, yeah.
It ended. I don't ever want to play another Last of Us
that's
game.
how I expected it.
Just like with the first game.
Well, I just expected it to happen that way because I know like everything, how it is, why they did everything that they did. I understand everything about the game. And that's pretty much like my conclusion without playing the game is I know what they did. It's an amazing story and what they're trying to tell. And I understand the decisions that they made. I'm just still the person that said, I thought the ending for the first one, that feeling of Joel being the bad but the good guy, and this feeling of like that pit in your stomach where you're like, I don't like this ending, but I like this ending. And that feeling of like, that's just how you're going to accept it and just go on was like the best feeling, but also the shittiest feeling.
And The Last of Us 2 gives you those same feelings. So it's really interesting. Jumping in, though, next one was most anticipated game: Elden Ring, Halo Infinite, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War sequel, Resident Evil Village, and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. Elden Ring won.
Yeah, because it's from George
R. Martin. So let me say this. Halo Infinite wasn't going to win. Horizon Forbidden West, maybe. God of War sequel, I think that was probably number 2.
That was
that or Breath of the Wild.
If they would have showed a little bit more of God of War,
probably would have gone. But same thing. Yeah. Elden Ring only has one trailer.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, it shows more than what God of War did.
Yep. I said this in another podcast. I am excited for Elden Ring, but I'm also very trepidatious. Is that what that?
Trepidatious?
Yeah, I'm very hesitant, I guess, towards Elden Ring because From Software is great.
Yeah.
Sekiro, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, but all great games. Yeah. My one issue with all those games, the story sucks for all of them. The stories,
but you have a combination.
This is why I'm saying now we have a combination. But they don't need to make the game super accessible. But you need to make it enough to where I do not want to get stuck on a boss, and I'm so frustrated because I cannot finish the story. And I thought Sekiro did it the best. The Sekiro is the most balanced game they've made yet.
And I don't want it to, but that's the thing. That reason why it's From Software it is held, and why they keep on winning such a their games are fucking hard, but they win 10s, 9s because you're like, this is how it is. I don't think the accessibility aspect.
I want a different game. I want a different game from them. It doesn't have to be accessible, but I want a different game. I want a straight up RPG from them. I don't want the same brutal. It can be brutal, but you know what I mean. Like
so you don't want slow. You want a little bit more fast paced, like Sekiro. Yes. Gotcha.
Sekiro, but like fucking The Witcher. I want Elden Ring to be like their Witcher, like a straight up RP open world. Not you go to different. I want a fucking grand open world.
That won't be From Software because they're known for one thing. They have that formula because
they can be different.
They can't.
I would have said the same thing about. I would have said the same thing about CD Projekt Red making a fucking first person RPG sci-fi shooter. They're known for Western. They're known for fantasy RPGs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fantasy, but just in a different. It's like it's a different fantasy.
That's my only issue. So for me, honestly, my most anticipated would have been the God of War sequel, or Resident Evil. I'm not excited for Breath of the Wild sequel, which is insane because I love the first one. But my favorite thing about Legend of Zelda is how every game is different.
Yeah,
and I hate that this one's not different. What about you? Is it God of War?
Elden Ring still definitely.
What's your least anticipated out of here? Because I can tell you mine. It's Halo.
I was about to say, I bet you can guess it.
It's Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited for this game.
No.
The more I hear about it, the less I'm excited about it.
And honestly, it's kind of sad because Halo was kind of like the first game I played.
Halo's still one of the biggest franchises. And you know what I hope? I hope because it is announced that it will be coming November 2021. I hope for you and me's sake, we play that game and we're like,
all I'm gonna say is with 343, probably not. I haven't really been
I'm wondering really
impressed with 343.
You know how Destiny's very much big partnership with Microsoft right now?
Yeah.
Do you ever see Bungie making another Halo game?
The only way that probably not, because they're heavily invested. For Bungie from a company standpoint.
Never though.
Let me say, from a company standpoint, for Bungie, that would be complete suicide for the company because they've invested way too much time and way too much money and too much effort and even through COVID right now, like they've gone overtime with, I mean, every fucking company has really. And for them to say, you know what, we're going to stop on this project and then go back to a project we originally sold our rights to.
Yep.
From a company standpoint, that's suicide. And from a game player standpoint, again, it's
big, but
they won't do it.
I'll be shocked. I would be fucking shocked, but
I'll be shocked. But I just know that's it's damn near impossible because they're not a humongous studio. Like they're not they're big, but they're not big enough to support that and then say, yeah, all right, Microsoft will take.
You never know, though. You never know. Weird shit happens all the time.
They could actually get the shell and somewhat of what 343 did with Halo, and then be like, Bungie, we need you to just go in and make your magic.
Finish the game.
And they could do that in a separate small department if they have the time. But
I really hope the game's good. I really hope.
I'm not hopeful for it.
You don't want to be hopeful? I can be hopeful. I'm not saying I'm optimistic. I actually reverse that. I'm optimistic that it's good, but I don't think it will be.
I'm not hopeful, but I'm not when I say I'm not hopeful, I'm not throwing shade at it. I'm just saying I'm not hoping for anything to come out of this game. Was
like, but Halo Reach, drop the mic.
Oh yeah. Bye. Yeah, they exited, and that was amazing. But like I said, this game I'm not expecting anything from it. But if it comes out and I play it and I'm like blown away, like holy shit, they did it, then so be it.
Can I be honest? I don't think they should have continued Master Chief's story.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like companies like to.
I think Halo 3 was the great ending to that trilogy, and I think there was still some pieces left open, but I think they should have gone more prequel status. Because I think with all the Spartans, like Halo Reach, that was the big appeal to it, was all those Spartans.
So yeah, they pushed it too forward down into storyline. They should have tied it up and came up with something. Yeah. If people don't know the whole story of Halo, there's so much shit to it, but they should have, long story short, they should have ended the story and said, this is how we get rid of the Flood. They will be forever gone, kind of like how Mass Effect did with the Reapers. Mm-hmm. It's just a fucking organism that just doesn't die.
Which we're going to talk about Mass Effect a little bit in a second.
So they should have did that, concluded that whole thing of that whole threat to the whole fucking galaxy, whatever. And then they should, like you said, go back into different aspects of the Halo universe of history and told stories, kind of like how they did with ODST, which was honestly amazing. And
I love ODST.
Yeah, and same thing with Halo Reach. It told a story, and it's a way for, even from a design standpoint, go back and for example, the guns in Halo Reach, there's new guns and also different guns, and the guns that from other games.
Can I just say, it always bothers me when they do that. So
really, instance, I like that. I like when they do
Gears
that.
of War 3 had the sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah.
Where the fuck's the sawed-off shotgun? They just throw it away in the trash and never touch it again.
Oh, so that's what you mean. We're
When they go further in, it's so where's this gun?
Yeah, that was actually really, really nice in this.
Which I get why they took it out. It was super unfair, but it was also pretty balanced because you get 4 bullets. That's it. And you gotta be this close to someone.
Yeah.
That's a different discussion for a different time. Game direction, Last of Us 1 over, goes to Tsushima, Final Fantasy, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and Game of the Year is Last of Us Part 2. The only other game I think honestly probably would have won for Game of the Year is Animal Crossing because of everything that's happened this year and how big of a phenomenon that game was, but I was happy it didn't.
Game of the Year for me really stands as...
Would it be Doom or Ghost?
No, for what I would have nominated as, because you have a little bit of everything. Definitely Last of Us 2 because you have strictly story.
I would do Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing is up there because, example, it's for everybody.
Doom, first-person shooter.
Exactly. You have your first-person shooter, and then you have Ghost of Tsushima, which is your open-world exploration.
And Hades is the indie game.
Oh, maybe Hades, but I don't think Final Fantasy.
I would have taken that out and put Star Wars Fallen Jedi Order.
Yeah.
I would have put that in there instead.
Because then at that point you have, I would say,
but I think
really good
people just forgot about the game. Because it's been a year since it came out, and it didn't hit the nomination thing, which is, I'm going to say this. I know a lot of people are like, well, if Cyberpunk would have been nominated. Cyberpunk would have not. I think it would have won a couple awards, but it wouldn't have won so many because of how buggy it is right now.
So we're going to get into that in a second.
We still have some other games to go through.
Yeah.
But.
So
let's jump into the announcements. The gaming announcements that excited us the most. I know we
already
talked
about Back 4 Blood. So the last two is going to be Evil Dead.
I have one more to add.
Okay.
So let me mention it real fast because Mass Effect 4 trailer.
Oh yeah.
Shown, and it was just enough for me to be, I'm fucking sold. They announced that the original team is coming back to make this game. Andromeda was a piece of shit. Honestly, one of the worst games I've ever played. Hands down, one of the worst games. You can have bugs and stuff, but if your story doesn't hook me, look at Cyberpunk. There are so many bugs in that game.
We'll get into Cyberpunk.
Mass Effect 4 excites me because it looks like they're touching back into the ending of 3. and I think they're going to touch on to whatever the best ending was. My prediction, though, is that whatever this trilogy is that they're coming out the remaster, I think if you play that, whatever ending you pick, I think will affect 4.
So they're doing all 3 remastered?
Yep, in March.
Holy shit. Is Xbox only?
Not all of them.
Yes, thank God. Because I remember the first 2 were exclusive to Xbox, right?
Yep, and now they're all on they all ended up going to the Switch, or not Switch, the Nintendo Wii and
so
PS3.
Now that I have that news, I'll probably end up playing through them because I never played through the first one, played a little bit of the second, never really much of the third. And I know everything because
the second one's my favorite game. It's top 3 of all time. It's the best one out of the 3. But 3 was great. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't love the ending. I love the ending because especially if you've played through all of them, your choices very much, like I got the best ending. And it very much was, we're going to take a risk. My only issue was Andromeda didn't follow up on that. So I really hope 4 follows up on the aftermath.
Yeah.
Because you see in that trailer, she picks up Shepard's NC7.
Yeah.
And for me, seeing that was, I think Shepard, maybe he's not in the game, but I think his legacy will play a big part in this.
Oh, 100%.
And I love that.
They wouldn't show that if it
and it looked like Liara, one of the romances, was picking it up. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the remastered.
I have no idea, all I know is kind of the basics of the story. I understand how amazing why it's held as such a big
the thing I'm excited about is I
just need to play it because
I hate the first one. So I'm hoping it's not a bare bones remake. I really hope good graphics, 60 frames per second, hopefully, and the combat is redefined. Like the combat from 3 is put into 1 and 2 because that was the best combat. So that's why I just want to show up. Let's jump into the next one, Evil Dead.
Yeah.
4-player co-op Evil Dead game. Like
I said, I really just exactly how I feel. I'm interested, but that's about it.
I'm so fucking excited.
The reason why is because I feel like there's a lot of games that came out or got announced in a similar style, and they're either A, and I have 2 examples.
Like Back 4 Blood.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a few games that have come out in a similar style where they're maybe A, they just don't fucking take off at all, or B, they don't take off and then they catch steam later on. 2 examples is Friday the 13th game.
Yep.
And the other example I can give is Dead by Daylight.
Yep.
Dead by Daylight literally was not going anywhere. It basically kind of flatlined, and then out of nowhere, kind of like Among Us, it just gets picked up, and now it's just
growing. Yeah. And Friday the 13th, I mean, they don't even make any new content for the game. And the Predator game died on Impact, but I think that's another game that's going to come back and eventually kind of do the same thing that those ones did. And I think this is a game that Evil Dead I don't think will be like me, I'm going to buy it first day. Because I love Evil Dead, I love Ash, I want to play it.
I like playing games. What you do, you are a creator. So
I want to play Evil Dead.
It's just content for you to create.
Yeah. But let's jump into the best thing. The Callisto Protocol. So it does take place in the PUBG universe. I told Tyler, I don't think it's really much that connected. PUBG doesn't have a story. I think, you can say it's in the same world, but I've never seen a fucking alien zombie thing attack someone in PUBG.
Yeah, so
maybe they'll do crossover events to sell the game, but necessarily for me, I am more excited than anything else for this game because I think the Callisto project, you and me have talked about it. And for anyone who's never played, do you want to say why we're excited for it?
Yes, So Callisto, it's an actual moon in Jupiter. And so I'm going to read, set on Jupiter's moon, Callisto, in the year 2320, the Callisto Protocol is a next-generation take-on survival horror. The game challenges players to escape the maximum security Black Iron prison and uncover the terrifying secrets. A blend of horror, action, and immersive storytelling, the game aims to set a new bar for horror and interactive environment. So the reason why the developer is going to be Striking Studios and the publisher is Krafton. These are 2 new studios the studio is new as I think it is. It's new. It's basically the reason why we're also excited about this is because it's from the original creator and director of Dead Space.
Yep.
He originally wanted to make Dead Space, and got pretty damn close, I want to say.
I'd say the first Dead Space is one of the scariest games ever made. What would you say the scariest game ever made is? Because I'd give a shout out to the Outlast games. The Outlast games are intense.
Yeah, I want to say Outlast because they don't.
Probably up there.
Yeah, those games are different because you can't defend yourself.
Yeah. Dead Space, I think, has the best atmosphere.
Yes. I think he got pretty damn close. I want to say he probably got exactly what he wanted with Dead Space. I don't think he did. But then
especially the third game.
Yeah, EA kind of restricted him, and he was not able to get what he wanted to do when he says he wants to make the scariest.
And it seems like this is more of an indie game.
Yes.
Well, no, I wouldn't say indie, but it's definitely like in the route of Kojima. How Kojima was like, Sony was like, make whatever you want. And I think this is the same thing. They're working with the PUBG developers and pretty much saying, you make what you want.
Yeah, so the Callisto Protocol is the first game from Striking Distance Studios, a new team made of industry veterans behind games like Dead Space and Call of Duty. Interactive Studios founder and CEO Glenn Schofield, right?
Yep.
And Chief Developers Officer Steve Patosis. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. So Glenn Schofield, I don't know if a lot of people know about him, but he's pretty much the one that really put a few of these Call of Duties multiplayer where it's at. He has really helped Call of Duty. He's part of, I believe.
You know, it's funny. You know, we don't know about this game.
I can't remember which one. It's which developer it is. Infinity Ward.
Yeah,
he's part of Infinity Ward. But, and yeah, this dude's gonna be.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think this is a single player game.
You don't think so?
Nope. I think it's a multiplayer game, and that's why they're working with PUBG. But I think it's going to be a brand new like horror type version of it because we don't know anything about this game besides that trailer.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
Oh, no, never mind. It says it right there. A new story-driven single-player survival horror game. Okay, never mind. It is a single-player survival horror game.
Coming 2020 to PC and consoles. And it just had a new Discord thing. Interesting.
Yeah. That's interesting. I can't wait. So I cannot wait.
Anybody right now, if you guys have a Discord account, they are currently right now. It says tune in on our Discord channel today at 10 a.m. Pacific time for an exclusive new reveal. So they just revealed something new about the game.
Yeah, it's already 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Wait, what time is it right now?
Pacific time.
Oh, so it starts right now.
Yeah. So guys, I mean, if you check it out.
Do you have a Discord? Because
I don't have a Discord.
Yeah, okay, so if any news pops up, we'll jump into it.
Yeah.
So I was actually gonna throw this out.
And there's another thing about if anybody's able to go on YouTube and check this out later, you might be able to find it. But if anybody knows anything about Dead Space or has played it, check out. There's a deep dive. I believe it was on IGN about all the small little Easter eggs and small little hints they put about in this game in the trailer.
Is that the video you sent me, right?
Yeah.
I'll let me see if I can find the link. I'll put it in the chat.
That's very it says there's a lot of hints to Dead Space in it. About Isaac Clarke. I believe the Ishimura was briefly talked about at one point. A lot of really cool stuff. So if you guys are really interested in about like space horror games or even shit, if you're a Dead Space fan, definitely check it out. Did you find it?
Yep. All right, sent into the chat. It's under the Xandria Studio because that's what I'm looking at through my other YouTube channel. So I'm going to tell you right now, I want to get into the Call of Duty discussion and save Cyberpunk for last.
Okay.
Just because the title of this video is Call of Duty.
Yeah, let's get that.
So let's talk about Call of Duty. And before we get into our ranking, guys, again, we're ranking 14 of them. We're not going to be ranking all of them. So if you're joining us a little bit, we're not going to start with 1, 2, or 3. We're really going to start from where it's prime, which was Modern Warfare, that original one. But before we get into it, I want to talk about Call of Duty because what was the first one that you really got into? Or what was the first one that you were like, this is really cool?
The first Call of Duty I played got really, really invested into. And it was like, oh, like COD is like more than just an army like shooter game, was Black Ops 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one. And that's actually my number one that
don't spoil it yet.
Oh, they already know my number one, so they know it.
So
that's my number one.
For me, it was Modern Warfare. I was blown away. I was like, what is this game? This is cool. And, World at War I was into heavily. Oh, we're back. Hey, we're back. Sorry, guys. We're back. No. Did it freeze for anyone else? Yes, it froze for everyone else.
Shit.
So let's start with this ranking. It's fine. Okay. We're 45 minutes in, only one issue.
Sorry about that, guys.
So it happens. Right. Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, and everybody's staying at home.
Yeah.
Quarantine.
All right, so let's start with our number 14.
Oh, you want to go up?
Yeah, we're going to go from bottom to top.
All right.
Do you want to start or me?
I'll start because I got a little shit to talk about. So, number 14 on the very bottom of the list, I put Cold War. Not once have I ever experienced a Call of Duty, especially on the next generation, and I'm seeing shit saying that it's bricking people's consoles. I had, within less than 24 hours, it completely shut off my console. And
three times?
Oh, yeah.
3 times,
Three times. 3 or 2 times. I can't remember. And, in the middle of a match.
Middle of zombie round. We're trying to do the Easter egg.
And it's I told Zach, how am I enjoying this game? How am I enjoying this game if I can't go online, just enjoy a few hours of my time with my friends before I have to fucking go back to work? Everybody's fucking busy.
Yep.
I'm here to enjoy my time.
Yep.
I can't enjoy my time if I'm frustrated about a game that's just full, not just the game crashing. Because I have problems with that with Cyberpunk, the game crashing, but it doesn't basically potentially break my console. I had it twice. Where I can't even turn on my controller to turn on the console.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
And this, for me, I don't look at it as so much of a PlayStation hardware issue. Because yes, there's definitely evident problems with next generation. But I play other games on this console other than Call of Duty. And not any other. I've never had this problem with any other game.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And
not only that, I've seen the gameplay for Cold War reminds me of World War II. I don't.
Oh, really?
It reminds me of World War II. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It is what it is. But coming from Modern Warfare from the 2019, transitioning to that, and definitely so, they have different gameplay styles. Cold War is definitely more arcadey, as a lot of people are saying. I like more of the realistic aspect of Modern Warfare. Zombies is fun as hell for the little bit I got to play it.
Can I say something? You just made me change where I put Cold War at.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where'd you put Cold War?
You'll find out soon.
Okay. Didn't even touch the multiplayer because I saw way too many people getting frustrated on how literally just campy and slow it is. Yeah. So that's not fun. That's not the game that I want to play.
So let's put a pin in it right now because I'm going to talk about Cold War in a little bit. My number 14 is Advanced Warfare. I did not like this game.
That's my number 13.
Okay, so I guess there we go. Number 4, we're both going to talk about Advanced Warfare. I don't like the campaign. It's boring. I hate how it looks like you're walking around like Elysium on your back with the little thing. Yeah. It was a cool idea, and I think the graphics are phenomenal for this. I hated zombies. It felt very milked in and just thrown in to be a zombies thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like the multiplayer. It's one of the few Call of Duty games that I just had zero interest in replaying. And even touching. And again, I think the only thing I really put time into was zombies. But I only played one of the zombies maps, which is the original one. And it was fun, but it was also really easy.
Yeah,
I remember you, me, George Curtis got very high rounds, and it just became a game that it felt clunky. It felt in that in-between where no one talks about it.
It's the move. Oh, everybody talks about it and says it's the worst one, other than, somewhat Ghost. It was just it's clunky because of the movement. It was you have this, it wasn't.
They tried to do Titanfall. It was literally, they're like, we're going to do Titanfall.
Yeah, and it wasn't fluid because the way you moved with your crazy ass jumps was very much up and to the side.
Yeah, where Titanfall was fluid.
Yeah, you didn't flow.
Yeah.
It was very much just
which I think that's our thing. So I guess I'll jump to my number 13 now. Ghost, the first game for the next gen, or the previous console. Yeah, first game for one of the PS4, and I don't hate this one. I think the graphics are cool. I actually like the campaign for this a lot.
I honestly don't know what
found the game to be boring. And I think that's it. It's just. Is this your next one? Too?
Yeah. So this is 12 for me. I put it there because it didn't stake out.
Yeah.
It's not saying that's a bad game. I didn't really understand what people didn't really like about Ghost. It was just very unforgettable. It was just kind of just there. And I want to say the reason why is because it came out in that transitioning point. And I want to say that's kind of what Cold War is kind of experiencing too in a little bit.
They just didn't know what to do. Do we stick with Modern Warfare? Do we go different?
Cold War is still... Yeah, like
so. I want to ask you,
and especially if it
wasn't for the crashing, would Cold War be higher?
No, because you also have to think. For me, another biggest gripe about it, it's just a rehashed story. I already know about my Cold War. Literally, I went to school for this. I don't want to play it again in a video game. Like, I really don't give a shit. And not only that, you already had Black Ops 1.
Calm down.
I'm pissed off on Call of Duty. I hate that they're just completely always just doing the same shit.
And just so everyone knows, he didn't pay for it. I paid for it for him so he could play it. I wanted him to get pissed. That's why I bought it for him.
I told him, I'm not getting this. And I've probably said this a few times in the
You said it podcast. So many times.
I'm not getting it. I'm not paying $70 for this.
It's okay, though. PlayStation Plus Collection has Black Ops 3, so we can download it.
Yeah, like, that's just I can do that, but I'm not going to, ugh.
Yeah. All right, so my number 12 is World War II. I wasn't a big fan of this one. I think the online's fun. I think it's cool. But, again, the campaign I thought was completely boring. They had a zombie mode, right?
What?
World War II?
Yeah. They did. Yes,
which was cool. Yeah. It was fun and different, but again, just didn't keep my interest. The way I did my ranking was how much time I put into the game, or how much time I think I'm going to put into the game.
I think what they did wrong with their zombies was they made it too realistic and kind of wanted to be too scary, which made it a little bit harder.
See, I don't think it was harder. I thought it was easier. It was creepier, but for me, my one thing was the maps were just uninspiring. If that makes sense, the whole game felt fun, but again, it's some of the same guys who did Advanced Warfare, and it felt in an in-between where Activision didn't know what to do. And that's why Raven, or whatever, Sledgehammer, is not doing any Call of Duty games anymore. They're just helping because they
don't know how to do it.
Activision didn't know what to do with these studios.
Who makes what developer made this?
Treyarch. Which Treyarch for me has always been my favorite.
So Treyarch definitely. But I will say this.
I'll be honest.
Treyarch does the best zombies. I don't think anybody. I think Call of Duty as a franchise. I don't know if they have to say, but it should definitely say the only people that are allowed to touch Call of Duty zombies, because this is definitely
which that's what they do. That's the thing. This Call of Duty game is made around a bunch of different studios. So I think Ravenclaw did the online. I think Sledgehammer did the campaign, and I think Treyarch did the zombies.
Well, it seems like we know why this game is such a fucking mismatch and fucking Frankenstein. It seems like it just doesn't fucking work.
So, and that's my thing. I think
there's
what they need to do, and this game had the least amount of development cycle that any Call of Duty's ever had, and you can totally tell. I fully believe Call of Duty should be every 2 years, not every 1 year.
100%.
Because now you have Warzone. If you just keep adding to Warzone, if you keep adding the multiplayer, it shows that people will stick around. Look at Fortnite. If you keep adding, it sticks to it.
Yeah.
And zombies mode. So imagine if they supported zombies for 2 years and then the next Modern Warfare came out.
Holy shit. That's my biggest thing. That's also another reason why I fell off with Assassin's Creed. You want
that's why I fell off.
This is basically a fucking game subscription for one game.
Yeah. And that's why I fell off Assassin's Creed 2. Valhalla looks awesome. I'm super excited to play it. But I fell off after the France one. Took me forever to get Syndicate. Liked Syndicate. Didn't get the Egypt one until it was $10. Didn't enjoy it. Got Odyssey when it was $10. Took me 2 years to beat it.
Remember what I said about milking games earlier in the podcast?
This is what he means. So what's your number 11? What's your number 11?
World at War. So World at War is not saying anything bad about it. I want to say World at War is a benchmark for the franchise because it was the first game to introduce.
World War II one.
It's the first game to introduce zombies.
Yeah.
So I hate to put it there so low. I just put it there because I didn't play it as much. Not saying it's a bad game and I didn't enjoy it. It's just there because
you didn't spend too much time with it.
I don't even think I actually played the online for it.
Oh, okay. Can I tell you something? The online's fucking cool. That's why it's higher on my list. But we'll get to that.
I've seen it. It's strictly there because I didn't play it.
Yep.
I can't give an honest review if I didn't play it.
Yep. So my number 11 is Modern Warfare 3. Coming off Modern Warfare 2, which I think is still the peak of online for them. I think that or Black Ops 2. I think that those years in between, that was the peak for them.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 failed for me in a couple different categories. I found the online to, again, just be a rehash, which every Call of Duty can be, but it very much felt like a rehash.
Yeah.
It didn't, the story felt like just not great either. And I felt it was just lacking. Like, it was lacking what Modern Warfare 2 brought to it. And I didn't like, it seemed like some departments they tried to go a little bit too new, and other departments they tried to go a little bit better, So that's why Modern Warfare 3 is so low for me at 11. Now I'm going to start with my number 10 now, because my number 10, well, what's your number 10?
So I actually switched them because I thought give a little bit more on my decision. So 10 for me is Modern Warfare 3. It's too close and too similar to Modern Warfare 2. In a lot of aspects, color palette, the way it feels, a lot of things feel way too much similar. Not to say that's like, it's for me, it's a little bit of a bad thing.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not a 100% terrible game to me. But yeah, that's why, Modern Warfare 3 definitely at that spot.
My number 10 is Cold War. Something, again, we just kind of mentioned. Cold War, you kind of said everything. This was a little bit higher on my list, but I moved it down because I haven't played it recently. I love zombies. The multiplayer has pissed me off, but I enjoy it. I put a lot of time in this. I've already put a day. 24 hours into it. And I enjoy the game. I like what I did. Campaign's terrible. I did not like the campaign at all. I thought it was not great. The multiplayer is fun, and I think that the zombies is fun. The reason it's so low for me is because what you said, it's too fucking buggy. This game should not have been released.
It's buggy.
This should not be crashing consoles. It shouldn't be doing that. And do you know what's funny? It's not just doing it PS5s. Xboxes, PS5s,
everything.
PC, everything it's running on, it's crashing.
And for me, so Cyberpunk crash issues, but that's not breaking my console.
It doesn't turn off your console.
Yeah, and it's just the game crashing, and from that, it's just the game itself crashing, and that's a very I couldn't imagine the amount of coding in that game because of how many strings are attached to within this game. It's absolutely insane how much shit's in this game, and it looks next gen. Call of Duty Cold War does not look next gen on a PS5. It doesn't.
It runs, I would say, as a frame rate.
Yes, but graphic wise, it does not. I would even say Modern Warfare.
Does look
looks
better.
Way better.
I agree with that.
100% better.
I like Cold War. I like it. It's buggy and it stresses me out. And I wish Activision would be more transparent about it.
Zach, I'm telling you right now. Don't give me the next card. Just don't buy me.
But it's gonna be the next Modern Warfare.
I don't care. I don't that's how fed up I am with this.
I have a question for you. If Activision was like, you can pay for what you want, would you pay for zombies? If it was like $20.
If it was $20, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the most you'd pay for zombies?
The most I would pay is literally $20.
Okay.
I would not do anything more than that.
I love zombies. I don't know what it is.
I love zombies
but I'm gonna tell you honestly, the more I think about it, I don't know, the next Call of Duty.
What more can they do? That's all 2 years, people. 2 years.
Let me say this: the next Call of Duty, I'm thinking about this 10 years down the line. By then we're probably gonna start having families, right?
Oh jeez.
Do I want my child playing Call of Duty and screaming? No.
I don't know if I'm gonna be playing video games any much longer.
Dude, fuck! I'll keep playing. Fuck them. If they keep making good story, well, here's the thing: I'll definitely start going more.
I'm just gonna be super more picky choosy. It's even more.
You already are picky choosy.
Yeah.
So let's go to my number 9. My number 9 is an Infinite Warfare, the space one. It's funny. I never actually played the campaign for this. Never beat it.
It is funny because Infinite Warfare is.
It's one of the best campaigns, apparently. From what I played, it was cool. But for me, the reason it's so high up is I really enjoyed the multiplayer, and I loved the zombies.
For Infinite Warfare?
Yeah.
They had zombies for Infinite Warfare?
Yeah, it was the carnival.
Oh, that's right.
I loved it. And the other maps were really cool. I think Infinite Warfare was good. I think it came out at a weird time, and I think the marketing was terrible for it. I think that's what actually hurt the game. And I actually wish they would have continued with this space stuff, because I think they did at the time. They made a better Battlefront 2 than EA had done.
Space stuff.
I think you liked it.
I agree. It is. Yeah, I'll get to it. But,
okay.
Nine. Right? 9. Yeah. We're so 9 is World War II.
You liked this game. I remember we used to play it.
I liked it.
Bullshit at times, but every Call of Duty is
bullshit. Every Call of Duty is bullshit. For me, it's not that super exciting. It's cool. I like it. I'm a huge history person. I love history, learning about it, especially World War II, and I know a lot of people are. I don't really feel like I need to play through it. I definitely like watching documentaries on it, and I learned it through school. I just don't feel like I need to play through it. I'm much more interested in modern times and that kind of warfare because that's what we're currently living in. The past is the past. There's definitely things that are important about the past that I've already learned about, and I think everybody does, but I don't want to play through a video game. That's just me.
Okay, fair enough. Number 8, mine is Black Ops 4. What's yours?
3. Black Ops 3.
Okay, so Black Ops 4 is so low for me because I didn't play a lot of it. I didn't love the multiplayer. I thought it was cool. I loved the Warzone mode, whatever, the Battle Royale. I thought that was cool. I like how they had zombies, stuff like that. I really enjoyed that. I played a lot more of that. Campaign was cool, but I also didn't love it. I hated 3 and 4's campaign. I thought they were not the best. But zombies was actually what determined this being so low because I didn't like it. It was cool that they remastered some of the other maps towards the end, but I never bought it. I stopped playing the zombies after the werewolf one because I thought this is garbage. Like this is not what I play Call of Duty Zombies for, which is like why I like Cold War so much because it went back basics but also new.
Yeah, they definitely. That's why I said it's like Cold War, even though it's on the bottom of the list, they got that zombies good.
They have zombies down to a pat.
Yeah,
they like Black Ops 4. It wasn't for me zombies, but it was still zombies at its core.
Yeah,
they tried doing something different. So let's hear your number 8.
My number 8 is Black Ops 3. I liked, and honestly, Black Ops 3. I kind of wish I could put a little bit higher because of the nostalgia aspect, but it's just it's a movement for me. It was cool. I'm happy COD's no longer doing the crazy movement.
Titanfall stuff.
Yeah,
they didn't get it right. So
they got it. And I mean, I haven't mentioned Infinite Warfare, but I definitely think Infinite Warfare got the best. But we'll get to that.
Okay. Let's go to our number 7, which is what's yours?
Black Ops 4.
Okay, so mention it because I already talked about it.
Black Ops 4. I enjoyed the multiplayer a lot until it just became full on bullshit.
Like every multiplayer
with COD. Like it's fun in the beginning, and then everybody starts exploiting all the crap.
Yeah.
And then for the people that are just wanting to have fun and not really just get mowed down by every submachine gun, by always like just one primary submachine gun or assault rifle. Yeah.
So my next one
or shotguns.
Yeah. My next one's Modern Warfare Remake. I think it's a great game. I really enjoyed it. I think the campaign's some of the best that they've done in quite a while. A little too short. For me, I'm going to be honest. Like, I like how they took this very realistic approach. I think this is probably the most redefined multiplayer they've done that's actually good since the beginning. The reason it's so low for me is I found a lot of bullshit in it. I found a lot of bullshit with just the maps, not feeling very much inspired at all. I thought the multiplayer maps were honestly terrible.
I'm going to defend the map aspect of it because of what they were trying to do with it. The maps don't flow because they're not 3 lanes.
They're not.
And there's too many fucking windows. It's the fucking doors of opening them and closing them. It creates too much of this cheesy, easy kills with the Claymore.
That's why I don't.
C4 on that game is absolutely terrible.
That's why I didn't like the maps. Some maps were good. There's some good ones, but that's my reasoning for putting it at 7. Everything above this is more of that. We'll get to it. What you already
6
said
was Modern Warfare.
The original.
Yeah, the original.
Okay.
Really, I'm gonna say it's really what kicked off this franchise. I didn't play it that much. I played the campaign. I really enjoyed it. Modern Warfare 2 is what really caught my eye.
Okay, which we'll talk about soon. So for me, my number 6 is Black Ops 3. Now, it's so high. I hate the multiplayer. I didn't like the campaign. It's high for me because of the zombies.
Zach really likes zombies.
This is seriously Black Ops 3. I would argue is their best zombies yet.
Black Ops 3.
Yep. You get the Dries and Drag with the bows. You have that final map that combines all the maps together. They did that giant remaster a year later of all those awesome maps.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That's why I love Black Ops 3 because I love the zombies.
Everything.
They had the Cthulhu stuff. It was really unique.
Yeah, they really went all in with that zombies, which was pretty cool.
And it kind of felt like the conclusion of those characters.
Yeah.
So
definitely did.
And dude, Origins remastered, man.
Yeah, it was cool getting the staffs again. That was really neat to go through that.
To be flat out honest, like I know there's rumors that Cold War they're remastering Shinonuma and Kino der Tarun, and I like when they remaster stuff.
Look, I'll even say it again right now.
It's free. I can't complain.
It's free. I don't even want to play this game and I'm scared. I uninstalled it off of my console. I'm scared to play this game because I'm afraid it's gonna break my console. But if I can get a confirmation of people it's not breaking consoles anymore, it's running fine, and I get that DLC pack, I'll play it strictly because of that DLC.
You'll play with us. That's it. That's it. You'll literally only play with us.
Oh yeah. If I'm not finished with playing Cyberpunk,
which we'll talk about more of. My number. Did we already say your next one? Your number 6 was Modern Warfare. Okay, so my number 5 is Modern Warfare. So we'll go with mine, then we'll go with yours. I love the original Modern Warfare. It's what really got me into Call of Duty. I'm more of the back to basics Call of Duty, 3 kill streak, that's it, type stuff. I think Modern Warfare 2 opened the doors more for that with all the other kill streaks, which I think was cool. But I like the kill streak stuff. I don't like the score streak stuff. And I also think Modern Warfare has some of the coolest maps, but I love the campaign for this. That's why it's at my number 5.
5 for me, Black Ops 2. It was really the game that was futuristic before they went to futuristic. And I think it was a nice blend of everything. The zombies was really cool. All the guns felt really, really good and balanced. Everything. Black Ops 2 for me felt just really, really nice. It was really consistent. Number 4.
My number 4 is Black Ops 1. I loved it. I played the shit out of it. I think it was Treyarch's best multiplayer. Well, I wouldn't say it's the best multiplayer because I have a couple more above this. But I like Black Ops. Again, Zombies a big fan of it. The campaign, I think this is actually probably arguably one of the best campaigns, probably second best.
I would say so.
But I just thought it was a ton of fun. I don't have a lot of memories of this one, but just it being better than everything underneath this.
4 for me is Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare. This was the game I thought had the best futuristic movement that they were trying to go with the franchise. I liked how many different varieties and varieties of guns and rarities that each gun had, and they all did different things. So it kept you could have essentially the same gun, but have it do different things, which was really, really cool. Overall, the campaign was okay. Wasn't anything that was. They had Kit. Who was
Kit Harington?
Yeah, Kit Harington.
As the villain, right?
Yeah, as the villain, which was. It was pretty cool to see him.
Zombies was fun.
Yeah, Zombies was fun. Infinite Warfare was just I feel like for me, Infinite Warfare got too much backlash when I feel like it was the best Call of Duty to do
with this future stuff. Yeah,
I think when it comes to the futuristic movement that they were trying to go through that weird spot, I think Infinite Warfare definitely did the best out of all of them, and I feel like they don't get enough credit for that.
Yep, I agree. My number 3 is going to be World at War. I played the hell out of this. I loved it. Zombies, first time it ever showed up, took my life away. I loved it. I played the shit out of it. But World at War works for me mostly because of the online. I love the online. I think the online was so much fun. I love the weapons. I loved using the trench gun. I think the maps were fun. Using bouncing betties, the flamethrower. The campaign was brutal. I really loved World at War. What's your number 3?
Well, Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Modern Warfare 2 is from online. The campaign was amazing. It's there's way too many. There's so many instances within that campaign that are very memorable. when you're Captain Price on the beginning of the game when you're ice picking, climbing up that wall.
Which I just started playing the remastered a couple months ago. And it was fun.
But doing that, and then the snowboarding. There's so many. I mean, not the snowboarding, but the
shootout on the
snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And then going into the prison where the gulag is funny. Where it is. There's so many memorable parts of that campaign. It's why it's up there, and it was also from an online perspective. Really,
it changed Call of Duty forever.
It changed Call of Duty forever, and more specifically, what I mean by this, and I want to say the reason, a huge credit, quick scoping. Quick scoping honestly took off in Modern Warfare 2.
And it was fun. It was fun, and
it's what I would say. Modern Warfare 2 with quick scoping and the popularity that it had with intervention is what made FaZe.
Yeah, 100%.
It's what made a lot of this
Modern Warfare
stuff.
2 changed a lot. My number 2 is Black Ops 2. Now, I remember begging my mom to let me leave school early so I can go home and play it. So I could be the first person to start leveling up. And I remember by the time everyone got off school, I was at level 32 already.
I never asked my mom to do anything like that as a kid because my mom would beat me over the head and say, go to school. See, my mom was never that kind of.
See, but my mom, so every year she gave us a pass. It was like, hey, you can leave school or ditch school for one day a week.
Yeah, my mom never did that shit.
Yeah, my parents are white.
My parents are mixed. I'm mixed.
But I love Black Ops 2. The nostalgia, the guns, the campaign was cool. Really for me, Black Ops 2 was my favorite multiplayer that Treyarch did. I love the maps that they did for it. That's why they're bringing back some for Cold War right now.
Yeah.
And I also really dug the zombies too. I think this has the Tombstone map, which is one of our favorites with Larry the dumbass, who you feed whiskey to and he breaks down doors.
Yeah. Has origins.
Yeah. Kino de Toten, man.
A lot of really good maps.
You get a lot of cool maps in there. Maybe I'm mixing them up, but who cares? I love Black Ops 2. And again, the multiplayer is the thing that...
Yeah.
I actually remember playing my first map was that snowy map. It had the FAMAS or the FFAL, and I would just great. What's your number 2?
Modern Warfare 2019.
I'm not shocked because you played way too many hours in this game.
Yeah, I got Damascus in this game. And
how many hours do you have in that game? You think? Sick.
Quite a few.
Sick amount of hours.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting about me is people talk so much shit. But I was Mario.
When they do it good, they do it good. You like it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely a lot of flaws with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned recently, the windows, the doors, the way that they design the maps, the fact that claymores and C4 are just mad annoying. The campers, the mounting.
I love the mounting.
The mounting is very neat, but it can get annoying at times. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm more of a person. I'm happy it's there, but I wish it was.
This is the most Battlefield that Call of Duty's ever gotten.
Yeah, and true. I mean, for me, I like that blend. Some people are like, oh, just play Battlefield if that's what you look for. True, but even Battlefield is very different from what Modern Warfare is. It's just I think they did a nice blend of the two. Numbers wise, it's the biggest Call of Duty. Number wise, because of how much it's only free. That's only because it's free because of Warzone.
Yeah, because now I'm curious to see how they do Cold War, because before Cold War was integrated yesterday, it sold a lot. But yeah, so makes sense. Put Modern Warfare 2. So my number 1 though is Modern Warfare 2. I had 19 days in this game alone, just the multiplayer. I prestiged all the way. I loved every map.
You prestige.
I did every single prestige. It's the only Call of Duty I ever did it. I wasted my whole summer playing Modern Warfare 2 with my friends. And maybe there's a lot of nostalgia just in the way that I spent time with my friends playing Modern Warfare 2 consistently, which one of my friends now that I played with is getting married, which is weird. Nuts. That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, hearing people our age getting married right now is kind of nuts.
Yeah,
and having kids and some people, some friends are on their second kid. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. But Modern Warfare 2, man, it was the pinnacle. I think it's the peak of Call of Duty ever.
What, Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, that or your number 1. Which say your number 1 because I can.
Yeah, it was Black Ops.
I'd say those two are the peak.
Yeah, I want to say Yeah. I want to say when it comes
Which we actually got that question earlier. What was COD's prime for you? For me, it was 2009, 2013. I stopped playing after Black Ops 2 because I didn't like Ghost at all.
Really, I would probably agree with you there. The peak for COD, in my opinion, was definitely Black Ops 1 and then Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
As an overall game, not just in one aspect, I feel like they put the most effort into every aspect when it came to the campaign. Both campaigns are absolutely great for what they are. Black Ops had a lot of mysterious understanding, like the numbers, that kind of stuff. Woods was an awesome character. There's a lot of things in Black Ops campaign that was great about. Online, I don't really need to say anything about the online. The online was just super fun. It seemed like, I don't know.
Fair.
I was going to say it seemed very fair from what I remember.
And that's what I want to say. Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops both had very fair, balanced guns, fair maps.
Yeah. The time to kill was nice. It wasn't you're dead instantly. This was it the special ops for
1v1 me. Yeah.
Great for what it was. It wasn't like so out there and original. It was just missions that you replayed. But what it was good for online with your friends. Black Ops Zombies. I don't want to say anything more about that. It's for both of those games. They really, that was definitely pinnacle for Black Ops.
And to pose this off, Santa Thready said Call of Duty World at War or World War II, which is better? World at War for me.
I played more World War II, but I want to say World at War because of the zombies.
Okay, fair enough. Well, guys,
they also had the flamethrower.
Yeah, both have the flamethrower. They're both fine. So, guys, that's the end of the Call of Duty ranking. We have one last discussion to kind of go about, and that is Cyberpunk. This is going to be a heavy one.
Yeah, this is going to be
also your battery's at 11%.
Oh.
Do you want to run and grab the charger?
Yeah, I'll get the charger.
All right, guys. Well, he's going to grab the charger so we can spend, at least 30 minutes talking about Cyberpunk or more. As we are going on, guys, if you guys are watching us currently live, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking movies over here, games, TV, all sorts of stuff. Again, this is the final Good Boys podcast for the rest of the year. We will be coming back in January because there's a lot more to talk about every single day. It's just a blast doing this, and we have fun doing the Good Boys podcast. Maybe we'll bring in more guests, but me and Tyler like doing it just us two kind of just discussing movies, TV, games, and just having a blast with it as well. And I'm sure many of you guys are also wanting to do the same thing as well. So, thank you so much for all the support, guys. And I also hope you guys make sure to head on over and check out some of the other videos. We have tons of other content over here, movies, TV, games, all sorts of great stuff like that. And, well, we're just going to keep talking about it as I'm pulling up the latest photo that we are going to need for this next picture, this next beautiful thing that we are going to definitely need. We're going to need this on the screen because it's amazing. It is charging, my beautiful boy. So let's share the screen. Cool. Application window. Chrome tab. Oh, that's cool. We're going to share this, everybody, and we're going to talk about Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. I mean, this is what we are here to do. This is technically going to be beautiful. You know what I mean? Cyberpunk, man. Let's talk about. So I want to get the negative out. I want to get. So the game released last week. That's why we actually didn't do a pod. Yeah, we didn't do a podcast last week because we wanted to play the shit out of it.
Yeah,
he's played the shit out of it. I've only have like 20 hours in it. You have 59,
56 hours,
something around there.
Like that.
So the game
released.
Much
time to do for the past week. I've been on work leave.
The review came up. The embargo was the day before or so. They hid the game from a lot of developers, a lot of reviewers.
So let me just put this out there. I have been very, very excited for this game for a very long time. Talked about it extensively. I will not be defending this developer in any way.
I think that and I love CD Projekt Red.
I love
but they lied.
This game.
But they lied, and they could get sued. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get sued. So let's talk about the issue. So they only gave the PC version for review embargo. And the game looks great on PC, right? It looks great.
It's high end. It can handle the amount, and like I said earlier in this podcast, the amount of coding I could not imagine because of how many strings. Like,
yes,
it's very. And the thing
people need to also remember, the game only had like 3 years of production.
Yes,
technically, so 3 or 4 years.
Explain that.
So when a game is made, the first year or two, depending on how the scale of game,
because a lot of people say it's been 7 years.
It's been 7 years since it was announced.
Explain that.
So it's been 7 years since it was announced. But the first 2 to 3 years, the first 2 years, they were still working on Witcher 3. The third year, while doing pre-production.
While doing
scripts, designing, stuff like that. The third year is when they actually said, okay, we can officially start getting to the end point of pre-production and jumping into the game. So then you have 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 4 years of development. And for an open world game,
and if you're able to play this game, 4 years is insane that they were able to pay this.
But then people throw out, why can Red Dead be made in 4 years? That's another thing. But I also, there's arguments to be made. This is probably on scale their biggest game that they've ever developed.
I'll argue it. Red Dead does not have anything, in my opinion. Like it's very. I would say
the second one though.
The second one, there's a lot. There's a lot. Trust me, there's a lot. But I'll even still contest. There's even more depth with Cyberpunk and the amount of the sheer amount of stuff.
So the story, I think the thing with Cyberpunk is the story's not linear, and that's the thing. Red Dead has a linear story where it's straightforward. You do this, there's side quests here, there, and there. The thing that Red Dead built though is a world. I think they both have great worlds.
Yeah.
But Red Dead has better graphics.
100%.
And this isn't just an art design. It hands down has better graphics.
I would agree with that.
Cyberpunk has, again, attention to detail, but even so does Red Dead. And again, there's tons of issues. There's polishing, and Cyberpunk should have taken. And again, I understand why they didn't. We'll get to why we think it should have taken 6 more months. And I think if COVID wasn't a thing this year, this game would have been 100, not 100%, but it wouldn't be at the state it is.
Yes, it'd be a better state than it is.
Because here's the thing. I don't know. I don't even get why they pushed it back another couple of weeks. Is it for the PS4 and the Xbox One version? 100%. And this is the biggest issue. They didn't show those versions in any of the trailers, any of the gameplay, anything. They hid it.
Nothing of it.
They hid it because they knew how bad it was. And they even came out and transparently said it on Twitter. They were like,
I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry. If you want to refund it, feel free to refund it. Which, do you understand this? Digital copies, they said they could refund from Sony and Microsoft, and Sony's not refunding them. Same with Microsoft. They said that they would refund them, and they literally, people who have talked to the reps, and they're like, we never agreed to that. Then they're losing money too. So now they're in this big fucking hole. So, which, shout out to GameStop, Walmart, Target. They are taking refunds on it.
Shout out to even Project Shitty Red. Even though they completely lied about it, they're still 100% being honest, and they're even giving in the option of offering a refund. A lot of game developers don't do this, so I will give them props for that. Backlash on Sony and Microsoft for not allowing it. I know that they say,
but they need to have that discussion with them first.
Yeah, they need to.
So that's another thing they up on. So
I really hope that Sony.
I think CD Projekt Red should have came out and said the PS4 base PS4 and Xbox One versions are not working to where we want it to be.
Not even close.
And should have just cut it. They should have just said, sorry, we're gonna cut the cord on it. Yeah. If you want to play it, PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, and anything above that can play the game.
Yeah, because there's certain exclusives right now that. There's not even exclusives for Xbox, but even PlayStation.
But even the PS4 can barely. The PS4 Pro can barely play this. So this is literally a game that they definitely more focused on the PC version. And then they're like, okay, consoles now. How are we gonna get this to work? And I don't know if it's their structure because again, Red Dead works. Last of Us Part 2 works. And again, Last of Us, I hate that argument. I saw some people using it. The graphics look great on everything. But Red Dead does work.
Oh, it 100% works. There's definitely, every game has...
they needed more time to cook in the kitchen. I would have even argued, if I had to... Does it suck that if it only came out on PC and consoles still had to wait? Yes. But
here's my only thing about that too that I'm curious about. The campaign itself works, yes. But what doesn't work? The other aspect of the game. the online does not work. It hasn't really worked since it's been released. The online for Red Dead.
I never played it.
Yeah,
so I can't
George said that it doesn't work. Even people have said
but
that there's
you can even tell that they've put more time in the GTA Online than they do because that's their moneymaker. Red Dead Redemption, I think they went too ambitious with the online, to be honest. But I love the story. I think that's some of the best. Rockstar kills it when making story games. Cyberpunk, and this is again the issue is the transparency they had with their consumers.
Yeah, they weren't honest.
Why did the game come out? Pressure from everyone.
Yeah,
pressure from their stockholders. Pressure from the inside people saying this game got to come out. Well, and also death threats from fans.
Yeah, I was talking to you about that. I'm like, and I'll even say it here. It's shitty that we're now living in a world where basically it's like you're answering to the mob where a game's like CD Projekt is like, we don't want to push it back. We need to. And then they push it back how many times? And then they started getting death threats.
They should never have put a release date.
They should have never put a release date, but it's more on the aspect of like, they can put a release date and they have every power and every right to push it back. They need to. It's wrong for people to start giving death threats to a company. And
we don't know the inside story on this. We don't know if their stockholders are like, we're pulling our money out.
We don't know. But death threats is insane because you're getting people are throwing out death threats.
Why are people being so death? Why is a death threat always a big thing? Last of Us was the last death threat.
I don't know. You give out death threats, and then all right, that puts pressure on it because it's a death threat, asshole. Right? Not to you guys specifically, but just in what the people giving the death threats, and then the game gets released, and it's not up to the standards that the people wanted. They're giving the death threats. What did you expect coming out of it after you just threatened a polished, beautiful game? Like that's what it's nuts that.
And I'm sure there was discussions. Do we push it back again?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of discussions, and I'm honestly thinking that the director.
But Jimmy talked about it. We wouldn't have minded if it was pushed back again. No. Would we have been? Would we? Because
I'm still enjoying the fuck out of this game,
and
despite its downfalls.
Despite its downfalls,
like every time. So my.
And if you're not enjoying it. 100% understand. If you're having buggy, if you tried to playing on the original PS4 and Xbox and it's not working,
I would say anybody with a PS4 or what the current Xbox, whatever, not next gen. If you guys are interested in playing this game on that generation, don't. Straight up.
What did you see IGN's review for it?
Yeah, I give it a 4, and it's honestly it's true. This game, like even with next generation console, it crashes, but it doesn't break my console. It just closes the game, and I still start it up every single time.
And I'll give it. Have you noticed it only crash? I don't know if you've had this. Maybe it's crashed. It only crashes for me, like when I'm not doing something serious.
Yeah, it's very weird when it crashes.
Now it might be different for everyone. It might crash for you in the middle of a mission. I think it's only crashed for me once in a mission.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is,
so really quickly. So I don't recommend playing it on this generation.
Yeah.
Wait until you can get a next generation console and play it on that, or a PC if you have that. Because the game of what there is to do, the amount of depth, the amount of just the game in itself is too good, and it will suck you in, but only if you're not experiencing these crazy things that current generations are having with consoles.
I agree.
It's very unfortunate for that's like the really truth. But if you want to play this game entirely and really appreciate for what really the time and effort that this developer really put into playing it on a next generation console or high-end PC, it's the only way you'll really enjoy it.
So let's talk. I don't want to do a full review yet. I think we'll save the full review for when we come back.
Yeah.
I think by then I'll have probably beaten it by then. You definitely would have beaten it by then.
Yeah.
And I think we would have had our more overall thoughts on it because I still want to play the rest of the story. So let's just kind of. This is more of a pros and cons. So the issues we kind of got out of the way with the company. But my thoughts easily with this is this game's fantastic. Despite its faults, like you said.
So really fast, the cons is really just the bugs and the crashes from a game aspect.
Yeah.
Those are the only two things. The bugs are weird. It doesn't really break the game. The crashes,
and some of the graphics are weird. Some of the graphical things on some of the characters and models are a little bit clunky. But the small details of I've noticed certain characters will be on a phone, right? And you'll be waiting and they'll start tapping the hood of the car, small things like that tapping their feet. Judy, dude, when a character you meet, someone dies very close to her and her legs throbbing.
Yeah,
one leg.
Small things like this.
Animation. So shout out to the animators on adding that. Little details.
Yeah. 100%. Like the small things about this game is really what.
But what I want to give a shout out to, and here's the thing. Besides its faults, the game crashes. I jump right back in.
Same.
Because I'm so invested.
Yeah.
In it.
Everybody I've talked to, everybody's pretty much experiencing pretty much the same thing. Everybody I've talked to says the same stuff. It crashes and
you jump right back in. Because there's so much
stuff and so much fun.
It's immersive.
It's immersive. And there's a ton of
the game is slower paced than anything than most RPGs, but once you get past Act 1, it opens the whole world up. Missions come into play. You can explore more. You can do more.
Every mission, the dialogue choices
every mission's important.
Yeah,
even the side stuff. That's why I'm doing all the side stuff. Yeah. And they even said you could beat the main storyline by just doing side missions.
Yeah,
which is insane. So there's 7 different endings. It's a very
Cyberware's nuts.
And that's the thing. This game feels overwhelming at first, but it eases you into it. And once you start getting money, upgrading is the big thing. Because
the economy is also another thing that is to be a gripe about. There's definitely things about it that are pros and cons.
But I like it.
It's not bad
because in this cybernetic world, the thing that's cool is you can't just focus on your skill tree or your weapons or upgrading your weapons. You have to focus on your cybernetics.
Yeah,
you have to it puts thinking into your head. And the dialogue choices are, I wouldn't say they're the most important like every other game, but they're interesting. Every dialogue option I have, I want to hinge on. I love talking to characters. I love seeing where they go and that slow moment. This is one of the best open world RPGs.
The hacking is also another thing I want to say just really quickly.
It could be better. I think it's okay.
Really?
I think it's okay.
I talked to Junior about it, and he even agrees with me. I think when it comes to hacking, it's like the best hacking
in a game. Yes,
in a game.
But I'm going to be honest.
I wish there was a little bit more, but I think
that's exactly where it was.
But I think when it comes to being able to jump into a game, understand hacking, and be able to do it pretty easily. It's the easiest way to do it, and it's the most fun, and it makes the most sense, in my opinion.
I wish there was more options. That's my only thing. I think it's very easy to jump from camera to camera, breach, and stuff like that.
Breach protocols are too easy. There's things I wish there. Yeah, like we said, I wish there was just a little bit more
depth.
And so, so you know how when you're doing a breach protocol, and you have to figure out the numbers. I wish there was more like that kind of like puzzle, but in different.
That reminded me. I have one more con. Like we said, the game is slow.
Yeah.
I don't mind the slowness. There's one game that literally halts the pacing. There's one little particular thing, and it's the brain dances. When you have to go into there, analyze the pieces. And I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like the most obscure thing in the fucking corner. And it makes zero sense to how that needs me to finish everything.
Yeah.
And that's my one issue, because I think it's really cool factor.
Yeah,
but I wish it walked you more through it, because I'll get stuck and I'll be like, gotta watch this thing 30 times to figure out.
I'm hoping that even with the brain dance, when they do, that's another thing I'm also
they're cool.
Really happy about.
But
all DLC is going to be free for this game. I hope that they do like some more missions when it comes to the brain dancing missions, and they do more depth where it's actually like more of an investigation aspect,
because it just feels like a chore.
Yeah,
each time it comes up.
Yeah, there's that thing. So when it comes to the missions, and there's different aspects in the game where it definitely does feel like a chore.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I don't like. But the rest of the game, the world, the immersiveness, it brings you into this world and sucks you into where you don't want to stop playing. And this is how I know a game's great. When I think I have only played 1 hour and it's been 3.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where I've been feeling like it's been 2 hours and it's actually been like 6.
And again, it just sucks the guns, the combat, I love it all. I love the first person. It feels immersive. Dude, put headphones on. It just sways you in. The nighttime of the game,
nighttime is amazing. I was going to say, if anybody that's listening, if you're a fan of Blade Runner, that kind of world or art style, this is your game.
And going back to the characters again, you get what you give to the game. If you skip through the voice dialogue, if you don't pay attention to these characters,
you're not going to understand.
You're not going to understand it, and you're also not going to like the characters. But if you take your time, it's doing something. But if it's doing if you take your time with the characters, if you do the side missions, if you take your time and do everything.
Yeah.
You get more than what you give.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't give yourself to the world, if you're like, I just want to rush through this, I just want to do the story.
You won't like, if you do exactly what Zach said, if you just rush there, you're going to miss
a lot
of cool items.
I've done that before in RPGs, if they're not the best.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of times I've done that.
This game, most of the time I do an RPG, I'm like, I'm going to run right through the story and then come back.
Yeah.
Not this one. Ghost of Tsushima was that way.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the side missions.
The side missions in Ghost of Tsushima are absolute. I don't want to say terrible, but they're boring. So redundant and
boring. Which, like, the taking over places, that's fun, all that stuff. But the story was good for Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk, that's my difference. Both are very open world RPGs, but the side missions for Cyberpunk are all fun.
They're all fun.
The taxi
there's a few, like we said.
There's one when you just have to go collect taxis that had rogue AI.
Yeah,
because they're funny.
Yeah, and that's like another thing about this game. Like, obviously it's cyber, so there's this idea of personalities and becoming sentient, like actual software becoming sentient. We always like have those ideas.
The Easter eggs too, man.
Yeah, there's so many.
A lot Portal in there.
Yeah, there's Portal. There's Hideo Kojima's even in.
Yeah,
one of
Death Stranding. Yeah, Run the Jewels are in it.
Yeah, that's another really thing. I will give a huge shout out for CD Projekt Red. As far as I know, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure all the music in it is completely original score. Everything, all the music, some of it.
So there's actually a setting to where you can set it to streamer option.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure from what I understand, that's the original stuff.
So
it's mixed in there, but there are new, every song's new in it, but they bring outside. But I love that. And I love the world. I love the guns. I love this game.
Yeah.
Like, I told you straight up, like, I'm not trying to ditch you after this, but I'm literally we're going to end this. And I'm going to fucking leave and go play the game.
It's like, I hate like talking about how amazing this game is, because I know there's a lot of people that don't have. And
if you aren't, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's honestly, okay. I hope one day you get to play the game.
And I'll even for the people that listen, like, damn, I fucking wish I could play it because I don't have a current next gen. Truth be told, you're honestly probably in a better boat than us, because by the time you're probably going to be able to play it, all these bugs are going to be
but
done.
You'll have the next gen.
Yeah, you'll have the next gen.
We're not able to play the next gen version.
Yeah, this is still considered PS4, but on the PS5.
Yeah.
Once, honestly, a lot of people I know there's probably really upset that they're not able to play.
Yeah, because 48% of the sales were all from consoles. And I think 30% of those aren't PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's base PS4 and base Xbox.
Yeah.
So yes, the studio fucked up.
Yeah, the studio definitely fucked up with this.
The DLC's free. They're gonna fix the game. It already made their money back. More people will keep buying Cyberpunk.
CD Projekt Red is also another thing. I will give it a huge shout out. They listen to the community. Mm-hmm. They are huge within the community. They listen. They did this with Witcher 3. Mm-hmm. Completely I don't know if it's not as bad. Maybe.
No, it's 100%. It's one of the best games ever made.
No. When it the launch.
No, Witcher 3 was a better launch.
Yeah, okay.
Because there were bugs. And I ran into a bad bug. I couldn't even beat the game for a week.
Yeah.
Or a week or two. I couldn't beat the game because there was a glitch. But here's the thing. Even though I had that glitch, they fixed it within 2 weeks. And it wasn't the game never crashed. It wasn't like bad animation. It wasn't bad graphics. It was just small little bugs. And that was the only bug I ever faced. Cyberpunk, there's at least 30 different bugs every time I play it. But
it's not
to the point
it doesn't
where
break the game.
It sucks. I didn't get all my money from one of my missions because I killed a guy who had the thing I need to grab, but he's just on the floor, but it's red. I look at him like,
yeah, there's definitely times where you can't pick up certain weapon items and stuff like that. Small little things, but nothing really where it breaks the game. It's just all annoying.
Is the game broken? To some people, yes.
To a certain extent, I would say so.
It's broken, but the fact that the game is so good and so immersive, and the fact that it lets me
and I keep on jumping in it,
it makes me overlook the glitches.
Yeah.
Where so I'm going to tell you this now. If Cyberpunk was doing what Cold War did, breaking the console, literally shutting it off,
I would not play it.
That's how I feel.
I would not play it because it's not. $500 versus $60. That's not worth it.
I would literally sit there and wait.
Or not really that, but I have to send it to. It's a waiting time at that point. It's just not worth it.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like you can just go buy another PS5. Look how hard it is to get them.
Well, shit. Price alone.
Yeah,
they're not cheap, especially like I said. That's why I made the comparison, $500 versus $60. That's the same reason why I stopped playing COD. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree. So, if you were to give Cyberpunk a score right now, what would you give it?
It's a strong 9.
Okay, so that's where I'm at. I'm at a 9 too.
After I beat it, and I don't believe in perfection, but even if they had no bugs and everything, it's still a 9.5. I would not give it a perfect score. There's definitely things that like we said, there's aspects of the game.
Can I also be honest? I wish there was more romance options. I think they there's only 4. And for a big open world game like this, I wish there was more, to be flat out honest with you.
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit like, I mean, it doesn't need to be.
I'm not a big person but I like having those relations. Like Mass Effect, I think Mass Effect does the relationship stuff perfect.
I think the reason why we wish there's more romance options kind of like that is because of how immersive and how much you really do care about the characters and how.
And for people who are saying V's a boring character, guys, you are V.
Yeah,
you are literally that character.
You're making decisions based off of what you would think, because it's not like it gives you 1 or 2 options. It gives you quite a few.
Yeah, and you choose what you want to do.
And
do you want to be a dick? Do you want to be sweet?
Yeah, and
I'm more sweet in the game, but when it comes down to if I need to be an asshole, I'll break your fucking teeth in.
Yeah, so
guys, you can get fucking swords in your hands.
Yeah, and with Johnny Silverhand, the dialogue with him, those are the ones that actually there's different characters, and it doesn't ever tell you. I wish it kind of would. Dialogue options will have a play in what.
But I kind of like that it doesn't, because that game.
Because it makes you really.
I saw someone complain. They're like, I missed the side quest because it didn't tell me I had to go and do it in a certain.
Well, that was your decision that you made within the game.
That you decided not to do that because nothing. That's what I love about the game.
Hand.
It's not it's real world.
Yeah.
If you choose to do this, it might affect this. If you work with this person, that person might get someone else that you work with might get pissed that you work with that person.
So I love that. And there's definitely instances like that, and
it doesn't need to. It shouldn't have to
tell
you.
It doesn't.
I like that it doesn't.
I like how it tells you because it makes you. Give you a reason to want to go back and play it again if you want to.
Now, guys, before we start finishing up the Cyberpunk talk, let us know. We're going to take a couple questions from you guys in the live stream. So for the people who are watching, make sure to start throwing in some in there. We will take. I see there are already a couple, but start throwing in your questions, whether it's video games, movies, just personal questions. We'll answer most of them. We're going to try our best to answer at least 5. If you guys give us 5 good ones. So. Ending it, I'd give it a strong 9-2. The last thing I wanted to ask is where does it go first?
Hang on.
Where?
I want to read some of these.
Well, I can pick them up. Which one do you want to pick?
We're going to read this one.
This one?
Yeah.
My friend bought it, but the bugs and crashes ruined the experience. And I understand that.
It definitely can ruin the experience. The one thing I am curious about, if it's on or next gen or current gen.
Yeah.
Even if it's on current gen, and even with it ruined experience on next gen, I meant, or even PC. I still understand it. It can definitely be an annoyance if you're not drawn to this world.
But it's exciting because eventually you'll be able to play the game when it's all fixed, and you'll be like, oh my god. The thing I want to talk about is where do they go next? This is what we kind of know where they're going, but I kind of want to just mention it for the fans. So we know that we are getting an online mode eventually. We don't know if it's a part of the game. We don't know if it's separate. I'm going to say it's a part of it, but it's going to be definitely. It seems like this is a game that they know we can add to for years and years.
They don't know that this is what they planned. In my opinion, this is going to be a new, it's already, I think, in some ways a new benchmark, but it's definitely going to be a game that is going to be supported for the next 5 years.
Sanith sent in this question. I want to bring it in. Yeah. When do you guys think GTA 6 will release? What's taking it so long? So let me say this.
Great question.
Cyberpunk is going to do exactly what GTA did.
Yeah.
Except a little bit different. Story add-on, story add-on, story add-on. End of 2022. Here's the online. This is what we're doing. Which I think the online might take a little bit longer, which is fine. That's fine. If you keep giving me stuff to go back to the game and play, I'm going to keep playing the game.
If all they do until they release the online is just do more expansions into that world with new cyberware, new guns, new even enemy species, even the enemies, even though as dumb as they can be at times,
I love killing the big one and grabbing the LMG and just
there's a few enemy options that are different and will make you play differently, but there's not enough of them, and I wish there was a little bit more.
I agree. All right, so but going back to this, what's taking so long? What's taking so long is GTA 5's online was a giant success, and it's literally garnered them. And did you see what they just added? They added a whole new area.
Yeah, they're just
so. I've never been that invested into it. I played a little bit of it when it came out, and I do want to get back into it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But shout out to Rockstar. They're supporting supporting the community.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that they're milking this because they're not milking it because they're sticking to one game and they're just adding on to it. They're doing exactly what I
will we get a GTA will we get a GTA 6? Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Probably by the end of this generation console.
I think we'll get another GTA this generation easily.
Not the end, actually. The middle of it. Give it 2-3 years. I think by maybe 2 years from now, we will hear about it.
And console generation life cycle, 2 years.
No.
This means that's
I'm saying this in the middle. That we'll finally get the game. The PS5 and the Xbox One Series X. What fucking stupid name.
I hate Xbox names.
Why don't Xbox One, whatever. And I think that's why PS5 sales are better. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I think sometimes people buy the wrong Xbox.
There is definitely a... I don't know if
and I get why they say Series X, Series S. I get it.
It's confusing as hell.
But we already know we'll get a pro version of these consoles eventually.
Yeah.
But for me, these consoles, because they've already patented it for both. Yeah, they've already patented it.
It's strange how they're going to do that because...
think about it. They patent it for a reason.
Is already a little bit of a modular system.
They patent it for a reason, though. It's more of a, if we decide to do it,
that's true.
Which they will. And I think they'll probably do it towards the later half. Because the PS4
Which I'll probably end up getting it. Fuck me.
Same. But you just trade in this one. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're having a blast. Or actually, you know what? I might actually wait. Because the way that this one was all handled, I want to make sure the next... Like, I'll probably pre-order it.
I'm going to take it home. It won't be as bad.
No. Because you guys know COVID's ending on December 31st, apparently. Anyways, guys, throw in a question. Fuck. We need some questions. Kind of going through here.
Death threats is not right.
Jin or Kratos?
Hang on. Death threats is not right, and I thought people give death threats when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah. Jin or Kratos? Kratos. 100% Kratos. Bro, are you related to YouTubeable? I have no idea who the fuck that is. I play campaign, so it would be good to spend more money for campaign only. Hell no. That's one of the worst campaigns I've ever done. Do not waste your money on Cold War if you're just wanting to play that. Okay, Sanise says this. Do you guys think there will be a Last of Us 3? We kind of discussed this earlier. Yes.
I think, yeah. Company standpoint, it
made them a lot of money.
Yeah, like, you have to think, a company standpoint, like, it is what it is.
But
why would you not go with something that is proven to work, and you're also getting awards, you're getting recognition, and you're getting money.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Can I say something about this though? I love Sony because they don't force their developers to make a game.
Correct.
And we've seen that. Infamous. If this was Microsoft, we would have 30 Infamouses at this point.
100%. That is a difference. I will say.
Sony tells them, you do what you do.
Yeah.
Now, Kojima might be at this point being like, you know that fucking giant whale boss you put at the end of Death Stranding? So, we want you to make the next Silent Hill. And then, if you want to go make another weird game, we'll give you the money. You just got to make us money back.
Yeah, that's...
So there's differences. Sony's very, do what you want to do.
Yeah, we've expressed
and that's why
really
I don't think we get another Last of Us for a while. Just because the last one came out 10 years ago. So it's, it's going to take a bit. I want to see what they do next because they've already announced their next game is new IP. They've announced that their next game is a new IP.
Yeah, I think I think we get a Last of Us for this generation. I think 3 or some kind
I think it closes out. I think it closes out the generation again.
You think?
What did they do with the PS3? They closed out the generation. What did they do with the PS4? They closed out the generation. Maybe that's how they do it. But for all I know, maybe it's just a Naughty Dog thing. Maybe Uncharted closes it out. Maybe a new Jak and Daxter closes it out. Maybe Resistance comes back. But I think I want to give Sony credit where credit is due. They are letting their developers make what they want to make.
Oh, 100%.
They're 100%. And I want to tell you this. I want Santa Monica to make a different game. I don't want them just doing God of War all the time. I want them to make another game. I'm happy they're doing God of War Ragnarok, but I would love for them to take and make it different.
Okay. So what games have Naughty Dog made?
Jak, Uncharted, Crash Bandicoot, Last of Us.
So essentially all the same.
Yeah.
Same the games. Okay, so why don't you ask Naughty Dog to do a different game?
I don't mind that. I want them to. But I mean a different IP. I mean a different IP. Like, do a different world. Do something different. Like, Naughty Dog has done survival horror story. And then Jak and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot are their platformers. Uncharted is their action adventure. Where, so Santa Monica, pretty much changed it up with the new God of War.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, I would love for them to tackle, like, a new sci-fi thing. Get away from the fantasy element for a bit. I'm not saying right now, but that's what I want. That's what I want. I just want a new IP from them.
Yeah.
Because, dude, when they came out with God of War, it's like brand new fucking thing.
But that's the thing for me. I'm not sick of God of War yet.
I'm not
and
either.
No one is. No. Everybody, like, even people that never even played God of War played this right one. Now? It was like, holy shit.
Can we say that? Dude, amazing. Curtis loved it. He still plays it.
I'm going through it on the New Game Plus. So,
let's say this right now. God of War Ragnarok wins Game of the Year. Literally, its competition next year is going to be its fucking
self. I'm going to say
that, right?
What?
Next year, Sony's competition is itself. Horizon, Ratchet & Clank, Final Fantasy 15, Returnal, that cool new sci-fi one.
That game looks
and God of War. Tyler, look at my hand. That's how many exclusives we're getting for the PS5 that we know of.
That's literally just...
we know of. Deathloop. I'm not saying that's going to win Game of the Year or anything, but that's another exclusive. That's 6 fucking exclusives.
I don't know if... I mean, after watching the Game Awards this year, I'm starting to feel exactly the same way about how a lot of developers and a lot of artists feel about awards.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mean shit.
Yeah.
All this is just a way for credits to give you recognition. It doesn't really... I don't feel like it's a proper representation of what people enjoyed. That's just how I feel, because I mean, these Game Awards, there's definitely, like, at the beginning, there's definitely things that just didn't make sense whatsoever, and that's why I want to say, does God of War win Game of the Year? Probably not. I think it's probably going to get swiped by another game that probably doesn't deserve it.
I think it does.
If it does, I'll be happy, and I'm like,
dude, because that's what happened. I remember that same year, it was between that or Red Dead Redemption 2. And Red Dead Redemption in the beginning won. And everyone's like, fuck. And then they won Best Narrative. And everyone's like,
hey, it's possible. Game of the Year. It's possible. It's 100% possible. I just won't be surprised if it happens.
Yeah. I think the only other game that could possibly win, I'm going to say this Outside Shot Ratchet & Clank, because this one looks fucking great.
What is your Uncharted games ranking?
Next. So this will be the last question, guys, since you guys all suck. What is your Uncharted games ranking? My number 1 is Uncharted 3. 2 is Uncharted 4. 3 is Uncharted 2. Uncharted Lost Legacy, and Uncharted.
2 is my second.
Okay.
I mean, the first one is the second one.
Okay.
My second ranking is the third. The fourth is the first.
And you never played the fourth, right?
Oh, is that?
You never played the fourth one, didn't you? Yeah. It's on PS Plus collection for free.
I still need to go through other games first.
I know. But you know what? That's what I love about this, because you know what's going to be cool? You know how the summer is usually that drought? There's no games for like 2
Not this
months.
Year.
Not this year. That we know of.
Not this year.
But again, when we have that drought, though.
There's not going to be a drought this year. There's not. You have Cyberpunk, which also all removed DLC. Hopefully by that, I'm honestly hoping, like, on really quick topic, just to touch on this. Scalpers, man.
Fuck you.
It's fucked up.
You got to make a living? I get it.
Go get a job.
Yeah. Sell something else.
There's plenty of companies I know that are willing to hire. I mean, in Arizona, it's definitely here. I'm not sure where you guys live. It's honestly, it really is shitty that people are really doing this. A lot of kids, like, for example, we're in our 20s. We're not kids. This is purely because, like, we want it, and it's like small entertainment we can do on the side. It's not we need it. And neither is like shitty kids, but kids are going. This is more of a kid thing. It's for the holidays, and the fact that kids aren't going to be, they're asking for it. This is like literally what kids want for this holiday season. And it's
I have a question
really
for you. If COVID wasn't a thing this year, do you think it'd be easier to find one? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I want to say the only difference would be that the ability to get it physically would be different because we wouldn't have the COVID restrictions.
I hope Sony and Microsoft have something in play to fight against the scalpers.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen a lot of things.
I wish what Sony should do. Don't put it in a cart. What they should do is you buy, like, you go to their website because they always PlayStation. Every week on their direct website, you can buy a PlayStation 5. You just have to wait in the queue, and then sometimes you don't get one. What they should do is you should be able to buy a spot.
Yeah.
Be like, the next time we have one in stock.
You should put it like a down payment, and it's like it's reserved for you.
And when we get it in stock, we'll email you, and you have 48 hours to finish the process, pay off the rest or whatever.
Yeah, it's like there's not even like pre-order. Like there should be something where it's like you can place a pre-order and guaranteeing you one. Whenever they come out. Whenever you can. Or
GameStop, Walmart, Target. Yeah. There needs to be ways to combat that. But that's, what, we don't make the big money on that. So that's why.
This is just more me touching light on it because I know that so many people are wanting to get them. And it's, in ways, it's kind of shitty that me and Zach have one. And there's a lot of people that don't.
But it was luck. It was luck for me to get two.
100% was luck. And I just hope that, everybody's eventually going to be able to experience what we're experiencing because it is a lot of fun. It's just, scalp per second. Just don't pay the extra.
Don't give them the satisfaction. Don't give them.
It's the only thing you're doing is you're just proving that it works and it's going to continue to work. Let these scalpers literally go, let them sit on these consoles
and then have to sell them for lower prices.
For the same. Don't let them make a profit.
No, don't. Shitty. Be patient, guys. Be patient. But thank you so much, guys, for joining the Good Boys podcast. Almost 2 hours long, but it was a blast talking with you guys.
Especially wrap out the end of the year.
The end of the year. I think we got everything we kind of talked about. We'll come back definitely in January.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Because you know what? Prediction, we're going to probably go back now into a quarantine. So we'll figure something out. We'll have some fun talking about that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And on your way out.
Everybody be safe. Have a good holiday. Happy New
Year's. Start your resolutions now, not January 1st.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. And of course, just keep playing Cyberpunk.